Fellow delegates, we are gathered here today to discuss the weakness of the Articles of Confederation. As we all well know, our country has been facing many problems since we declared our independence, and we are determined to fix them as soon as possible. The problem is the lack of federal government. Gentlemen of the Constitutional Convention, we are scared to establish the strong federal government we need because of the evil the king has done to us. But we need to understand that without a strong federal government, we are setting the states adrift. We will soon lose our unity and the states will become their own countries. Earlier in the Constitutional Convention, Alexander Hamilton from New York gave a very strong speech on this exact subject. He stated that we should scrap the Articles of Confederation and put a new document in place. This document will explain a different type of government than the one we have. First, there would be no state governments, only a strong federal government. Secondly, there will be three branches in the federal government: the executive, judicial, and legislative branch. Lastly, he wanted the president to have a lifetime term because he wouldn't be able to get much work done otherwise. I agree with Alexander Hamilton on some things. For example, I think we should scrap the Articles of Confederation and create a new document. Gentlemen, there is no way we can succeed in becoming a worldwide respected government if we keep these articles. They are simply too weak. I think the branches idea gives to us by fellow delegates is ingenious. This is the way our government is meant to be. I know because of King George taking advantage of power, we are afraid of a strong federal government. We are afraid of the government taking advantage of us once again, but giving the states these many rights will allow them to take advantage of the federal government. I know what we are all thinking. You're thinking that even if we have three branches, without any state governments, the federal government could still find a way to oppress its citizens. This is true, but I disagree with Alexander Hamilton that we should not rid ourselves of the state government. I do, however, agree with the Virginia plan presented to us by James Madison. The Virginia plan states that there should be checks and balances. We should have three branches of government, each with a group of people working together to fulfill the job of the government. These three branches will have ways of always checking each other, making sure no branches has too much power. One of the problems we are having is deciding between having a president or a group of people working as the executive branch. I know some of our fellow delegates are afraid that the president would kill the democracy and that he would have the ability to take as much power as he wants. But this is far from true. No matter if it's a group of people or one person, there is still a chance of seizing too much power. I think it's easier to handle one person's want for power than handle a group of people's wants. In conclusion, the right thing to do is to scrap the Articles of Confederation and start with a new document that controls our nation. We need to listen to Alexander Hamilton and the other delegates who are pushing us to make a strong federal government. We also need to listen to the Virginia plan that states that the needs of check and balances to create a successful three-branch government. Lastly, we need a president that can help rule the executive branch. Delegates of the Constitutional Convention, this is the best way to run our country and make sure it's